get out Painted Black.
Painted Black, set. Painted Black. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Stand by. Beyonce.
Beyonce, set. Beyonce. 5, 6, 5, 6.
Stand by. Fight song. Set. Second position, standby. Thanks, Ben.
Thank you, band. Appreciate you being out here this morning. Mr. Duffield, if you want to release them, that is fine. There will be no anthem this morning, so if you want to release them, that'd be great. Let's give the band one more hand. They've been out here working hard for a few weeks now. Always appreciate their willingness to get up early and beat the heat. I thought we were going to have some overcast today, and then it burned off. So I think today will be filled with many thank yous, but I want to jump on a few here right off the bat. The band, we thank them. Junior ROTC students came out this morning to help with parking. Our maintenance and custodial crew have been busy readying the place. The chamber being with us this morning, appreciate that. Mrs. Spangler, always willing to help and get these events planned. And then Mr. Fretwell for his leadership through the process of getting this put in place so we could have this morning. And Mid-America Turf for the excellent work that they've done here and will continue to do out at the baseball field. So welcome. We've got contributors, chamber members, school board members, Neosho School District team members, coaches, students, and of course Wildcat supporters. I think this is a historic day as we cut the ribbon on the first artificial surface on this field in 65 years. In some discussions with Dr. Shaver, I believe this was put in place in 1955, so it has served our community for a long time, and this is a beautiful upgrade. And I think just as our gym is special in Southwest Missouri, so is this stadium. The turf combines an old school setting with a modern playing surface to create a special venue. We appreciate you being here, and we really appreciate you partnering with us to get this done. I've asked the speakers to be somewhat brief today in respect of your time. However, we want to make sure that we take the time to make it absolutely clear the difference these contributions have made to our school district. And we just lost. Let me give you just a brief history. Neosho's needed a weatherproof playing surface for many years. We use this field several days a week during the fall. Often heavy rains followed by games would leave the field with little grass in large areas, and even I've seen hardened footprints out here in certain places. It was not ideal. However, as often is the case, a synthetic surface can be a bit of a political hot potato for school districts. In what I consider a bold and courageous move, the school board voted to allow us to move forward with the turf project if we could raise half of the money. I remember Brett Day making a statement referencing it would be a good investment at 50 cents on the dollar. That is when I was able to turn Jenny Spiva and Stuart Puckett loose to start working and looking for community partners. At the end of this fiscal year, June 21, we will have over half of the cost of the turf in the bank. Additionally, with the collections of our advertising partners over time, we will collect $800,000 of the $925,000 cost. I believe we also may consider having a second, smaller campaign to allow the last two advertising spots and the community to help us to where we could turn this into a 100% community-funded project. The project got off to a rough start. The crew was quarantined in Kansas City for a month before we were ever able to get started. However, under the leadership of Mr. Fretwell, our Assistant Superintendent of Operations, the company's done a wonderful job of making this dream a reality. Because of the delays, we will start the track later in the fall, and ultimately we will have a beautiful black track that is funded by insurance proceeds. When you think about how many players and musicians have performed on this field over the last 65 years, it has impacted many students. I would offer that this project will impact several students far beyond just those who participate on this surface. The community's support of this project, I believe, had much to do with the passage of the ballot initiative in June. This district has built 3 new schools in the last decade or so and added on the high school and South Elementary. The $22.5 million worth of debt that was approved by the taxpayers will be a large portion of the $30 million worth of projects we hope to complete over the next couple of years. They will add safe rooms, build a new baseball field. We will put bookends on this field with an end zone facility and a performing arts center. And I think when that is done, you will just see the beginning of what Neosho can be. One of the things that I've preached since the beginning, and I hope you got one of the I'm just going to leave that down there. one of the vision statements as you came in. And if you didn't, I would ask that you pick one up, and I'll talk a little bit more about that at the end. But it's important to us that we serve the needs of students in many different areas. And when you can impact community pride, you can have an impact on a lot of different areas that go beyond just what happens on this field. So I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you for your investment in our students, our staff, and our community. One of the things that was evident in the beginning is that I was going to need help finding those partners. Partnerships are often based upon relationships, and I needed some help finding those relationships. So I've asked our two people that were just a huge part of making this happen to offer a few words. And I don't know if Jenny's going first or Stuart. Ladies first. So Jenny Spiva.
Good morning. I'll be brief because some of what Mr. Cummins said was kind of what I was going to say too. There's a lot of pride with how this looks. I don't know, the biggest thing for me is to see all the kids' faces. We had our youth football pictures down here last weekend, and those kids were so excited about just the looks of the field, not only that they get to play on it. So I know the guys tonight will probably be just as excited and hyped up about it. But this was a project that this town, Mike and I, and several people that I know have students in this district have talked about for a lot of years. And it just kept getting put on the back burner and put on the back burner. And so I felt strongly enough about it that I had a meeting with Dr. Cummins, and we discussed how we were going to make it happen. And I was pretty excited when he called me up and told me that the board had approved, if we could raise the 50%. And I said, that's doable. We know enough community people in this town that think enough about this town, as me and my family do, that I think we can get that accomplished. And I am thrilled that we ended up overstating that and getting way more than we ever imagined that we would. So I wanted to thank each and every one of you that contributed and advertised and gave money and made this dream a reality, because on behalf of the two children that I have that play football, I know how excited that all those kids are. And as a community member and a business operator, this also makes a big difference in our town overall. Believe it or not, facilities bring people to your town and to your district. And this is a great start. And with the levy passing, we're going to be even better. So I'm pretty excited about all the things that are happening in Neosho. So thank you, everybody.
Good morning. I called up my father the other day when all this started, and I said, Dad, I need some help. I said, we met with the board last night, and we decided to try to get new turf on the field. Can you help get the work started? He said, sure. He said, I'll meet you in your office tomorrow at 9. Right on time, that next morning he showed up. He was carrying a bottle of Roundup and a rock rake. And I said, Dad, you don't understand. I explained. He said, don't worry. He said, I left the bag of seed in the truck. What an exciting day. Thank you all for being here, and thank you for what you've done. Okay, these comments are for the kids in the stands. John Wooden, who's arguably the most successful collegiate basketball coach in our nation's history, summed today up very well. You can't live a perfect day without doing something for someone who will never be able to repay you. To all of you who made this possible, thank you for help creating this perfect day. These kids will never be able to repay this investment. But that wasn't why you did it. You did it because you saw value. You saw an opportunity to be part of a combined effect of an investment, which is going to be much greater than the sum of the individual contributions. Amidst the chaos in 2020, this little community of Neosho, Missouri, discovered what it cared about. This field's only the start, and what a magnificent start it was. I'd encourage everybody here to take a look towards the north. that way. Then take a look towards the south. Remember those views and let them sink in, because in a very short period of time, they're going to be completely different. The changing landscape is going to provide opportunities for thousands of kids in Neosho's future, a greater opportunity to excel than they have today. And to the students here, please carry a message to your class. We are the Neosho Wildcats, and this is the front porch of our house. You are charged with protecting our house, protected with pride, protected with hard work, protected with honor, discipline, and sacrifice. Remember, today is one of those perfect days, and sometime in the future, help create one for someone else. Thank you.
Thank you, Stuart and Jenny. This wouldn't have gotten done without your dedication. I think it is important that as we do this, we remember that it really is about kids now and kids in the future. And so what I've done is ask Brandy Arthur, our Neosho Athletics and Activities Director, to come up and say a few words, and then we're going to hear for a little bit from a couple of, or three coaches and some of our students that are going to get to participate on this field. So, Ms. Arthur.
Good morning. This year is my second year in the role of Activities and Athletic Director. These people are going to do a great job of telling you how this field is going to impact their athletic programs and the band. I did want to say, as a former PE teacher in the district for 10 years, this all-weather surface will do wonders for our PE classes also. All the time we are looking for places to go whenever the weather is not perfect, but we can still get outside, and this surface will be great for those students, hundreds and hundreds of students every year, so thank you so much for that. Our coaches we'll have speaking today are Leon Miller, our head football coach, James Carter, our head soccer coach, and we also have the director of our band, Mr. Duffield.
Thank you. I would just like to first start out with thanking Jenny, Mike, and Stuart. You know, we had several conversations about this since I've been here, and you know, when the board made the commitment and these guys got after it, I was sure it was going to happen, and sure enough, here we stand, and it's beautiful. You know, 3 years ago, I walked through this field interviewing for the job, and as I walked down through here, I looked at this venue and said, my goodness, what this could be. A beautiful setting, beautiful setting. You know, if we can make the upgrades, do what our kids deserve, you know, we're going to have the premier facility in this part of the country, no doubt about it. And this is a huge start for it. I want to thank all the sponsors that are represented on the field and those that aren't for everything they've done for these kids. You know, it's not about me. Ever since I got here, and people would ask me, why do you need this? Why do you need this? It's not what I need, it's what these kids need, what these kids deserve. And I appreciate each and every one of you stepping up, answering that bell, and helping us to get to this point. And, you know, a lot of exciting things coming. And, you know, Stuart talked about this being our house. It's always been our house, and we've always taken pride in it. But our house just got a little better, okay? And we're gonna fight, and we're gonna fight to protect this house, just like we always have. But thank you all so much for doing what needed to be done for all of our kids, just not the football kids. You see the band out here, the youth out here. I mean, there's gonna be a tremendous soccer, you know, everybody will use this. I mean, this is a beautiful surface, multi-purpose surface that can be used by everybody in the school, everybody in the community at some point. So we're so grateful, so thankful, and we're ready to get after it tonight. Thank you. Sorry, this is Caden Decker, one of our seniors, starting right tackle for us and starting razor for us on defense.
Good morning. I just wanted to talk to you guys from a football player's standpoint and from a student's standpoint in the district, and thank everyone who put in the time and the hard work in order to get us what we felt like we really wanted, and this was just a huge deal. At the beginning of the summer, we had weights every day, and we'd come out and we saw piece by piece this thing being put together, and we were ecstatic. We couldn't wait every day, and then the first day we got out here for practice, everyone was running around and jumping around, and you just thought it was Christmas to a bunch of little kids. But it exceeded our expectations, all the upgrades we've just been super excited about. And in the previous years, going to different schools' facilities and different fields and things of that sort, we saw what they had, and we were like, that'd be so nice, just to have it for ourselves, call it our own. And I believe we have one of the nicest, if not the nicest, facilities in the conference now. And so we really appreciate that, and it affects everyone in the school. Like she said, we've seen PE classes out here whenever we come out to run on the track, and the band, and we use it every day, and I promise you that we take pride in it. And we can't wait to use it tonight, and we hope that all of you come out and support us. Thank you.
Boys and girls soccer program, this facility will mean a lot to us. Maybe first and foremost, it gives us and our kids a safe venue to play in when we experience adverse weather, which in the spring and the fall, Coach Knockenberg will tell you it happens a lot. So it more than anything will give our kids a safe place to play, a reliable surface, and a first-class venue. So we're very thankful for that. And from a personal perspective, very thankful to you guys for giving that opportunity to a group of kids that I care a lot about. So I can't tell you how grateful we are, how thankful we are. Some of the sentiments that have been offered up here already point out that this project affects a wide range of students from diverse backgrounds. And so I think that's important to point out. More than anything, I think when this era is looked back on, it's genuinely going to be pointed out as a era of great stewardship from our administration, our board, our community, and all these projects, like Mr. Puckett talked about. Decades to come will be an era we look back on and can be very proud of. Carlos Hernandez is a player of mine, an excellent representation for our team, and he's going to speak a little bit from the student perspective.
Good morning, everyone. I would just like to thank for the whole community that has done for us making this turf. As a student's perspective, we always wanted this. We always wanted this wish to come true. As Coach Miller said, we want to thank our sponsors, our community, our district, and everyone that has been putting a lot of effort for this. We also want to thank everyone that has been in here. Also, as a student's perspective, I would like to thank everyone that has made this true. And as a soccer player, as a senior, we would like to show pride in this turf, in this field, make this our home, make everyone proud that we have pride in our community that has made this true. Thank you.
What a wonderful facility that we've got. It is really exciting, all the renovations and the changes that the community is supporting, that the district is backing, and the programs that you guys are supporting as well. I've been here for several years. I've been around a lot of programs. We've gone to a number of facilities, and there's unique challenges of every single program. One of our challenges that we have has been our facilities. Several years that I've been here, you see us in the fall every single morning on the football field. We use it daily. The football team would practice out there daily on the practice field. There'd be a number of classes that'd be out there. We'd have weather. All of that would get run down about mid-season. It gets really slippery. It's difficult to maintain. We're also right up against a very busy boulevard. And the couple times a week that we'd actually be able to get into the stadium, to be on the grass where we could get up top to actually see what's going on of the marching band on where they're going. That was our only opportunities to be able to see the band. With the all-weather surface, we've been out here daily. We're able to get a lot more done. We can see what's going on. Our students have persevered through our lack of facilities, have been super competitive, winning a number of competitions in this area over the last several years, becoming nationally ranked. And this service gives us an advantage competitively to stay moving forward as the students have been doing and continuing on. Even the stadium, as nice as it had been, and we keep the grass as well as possible, there's other things. These little details that the community went through is super important. Just having the electricity out here to do this is important. We use electricity in our shows, and we would have to run extension cords from a bathroom just to be able to do our halftime shows. So all these little details are really, really exciting. I appreciate the community. I appreciate all the work that's gone into this. It's going to make a huge difference for all of our students here to come. The student that we've got here front representing the band is Abby Burns. She's a senior. She plays percussion, she plays French horn, she's a trumpet player, she's involved in our jazz band, a leader in our program. This is senior Abby Burns.
I think that we can all agree that the year 2020 has been full of the unexpected. Back in March, we left unexpectedly, and for most of us, returning for this school year was not something that we had on our list of things to do for the year. But despite all of that, our community still bound together to give us such an amazing gift that is truly history-making. Over our extended spring break, our very extended spring break that eventually turned into summer, I watched the progress of our field through social media and on Facebook especially. Every post showed the significant changes and progress on the field that we now see today. And every one that I saw made me more excited to see what the final project would look like. I was amazed at how far our field had come through the uses of our extremely helpful crews and then also our dedicated administration. And I'm truly proud to stand here today and represent the band as we are here to recognize the donors as well. Finally getting to walk and practice on the field was more surreal than I had ever imagined. Throughout my high school career, there had always been talk of getting an AstroTurf field, but it was not something that I expected, but here I am as a senior, we finally have it. I am part of several activities here at the high school, like Mr. Duffield mentioned. The one most relevant is the marching band. What we see is that usually it's very hard for us to practice. The field becomes muddy because of the weather. It's very hard for us to move our equipment on and off of the field. But now it's going to be so much more easy for us. We've practiced during the summer, we practiced for several weeks during the band camp, and it was really exciting to be able to come on here effortlessly without any problems, being able to hook up to the electricity right here on the field instead of having to run up to the press box or over to a bathroom. It was really helpful, and it was something that made my senior year much better even in the first month. I'd like to thank each and every one of our donors for being dedicated to progress and being dedicated to the future of our students. Not only do we have a field to help us right now, but we have a field that represents the dedication that us students have to our own futures and to our own success. Looking out at the field from a distance truly brings a sense of pride, but getting to stand here and perform or speak on the behalf of the band really shows that our community is successful now and will continue to be so in the future because of wonderful donors like you. Thank you.
Thank you, students and coaches. It's always nice to be able to showcase what bright, articulate students we have, and I appreciate them coming out. It's not always easy to speak in front of a bunch of adults. One other thing, I know some of our other head coaches are in the stands. If you're a head coach of another sport that'll be using this, will you stand real quick? So I want you to understand that it's not just, thank you, it's not just football, band, soccer that'll be using this. Our other sports will be able to get out here, other activities, cheer, dance, on and on. So every project like this really needs that anchor donor, and for us that was Freeman Hospital System. But I would just say that Freeman is not just a partner in this project. Freeman has been a partner with us in many ways. Renee Denton, the Chief Operating Officer here in Neosho, and Paula Baker, the President and CEO of the Freeman in many, many regards. I consider them a true partner in every sense of the word. Renee, we appreciate all that you've done and continue to do for this district, and if you'll come up and share from Freeman's perspective.
Thank you so much. What a wonderful day to be part of the Neosho community. Freeman Health System is very honored to be here today to be part of this momentous occasion. We know that academic success and career planning, emotional and physical well-being, and an engaged citizenship are three essential components to support a flourishing community. How fortunate our Neosho community is to have strong representation in all of these areas. Specifically today, it is encouraging to have such dedicated academic visionaries to ensure that our students have the education, the facilities, and the tools that they need to fully achieve their potential. When Dr. Cummins first came to visit with me about a year ago in regard to sponsoring phase 1 of a much larger plan, it was very clear that Freeman Health System wanted to support this effort and to assist the school to reach this long-term goal. Freeman Health System has provided care to the Neosho community for over 90 years. For the past 25 years, we have been avid supporters of the Neosho student athletes and student body by providing an athletic trainer to keep our students injury-free and to provide immediate assistance if an injury should occur. Our certified athletic trainer, Caleb Garton, works with our student athletes and student body every day while collaborating with the most exceptional sports medicine physicians to facilitate immediate access to specialized care and rehabilitation if needed. This allows our students and our athletes to get back in their game just as quickly as possible. Freeman also supports the school district by providing priority scheduling for any student or school staff member to allow prompt diagnosing and treatment to return the student or the staff member to the classroom just as quickly as possible to reduce the number of school days that could potentially be missed due to illness. Freeman continues to proudly support our school districts, working closely with the schools to keep our kids and our school staff healthy is a very large step and part of our mission to assure that our community remains healthy. We are very honored to be part of this occasion today, and we offer well wishes to all of the athletes and all of the individuals who will take part on this field. But specifically tonight, we offer well wishes that the Neosho Wildcat football team will have their most successful season ever as they battle on their new field. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Renee. You've done a lot of thanking. It's time to recognize you all. So what I would ask is that when I call your name, if you'll stand and give the crowd or whoever a wave. And for those others, if you'll wait and hold your applause till the end, we will recognize and we'll get on. So as I call your name, please stand. Arvest Bank, Franco, who is also very active in getting us started on our $30 million worth of projects. The Bubba Schwartz Memorial, I'll go ahead with K&S Wire, Gene and group. David and Daphne Piva House, Debbie and Marvin Major, First Community Bank, Freeman Health System, Griffith Motor Company, Jerry and Jan Griffith, Jim and Renee, K&S Wire, Linda Spiva and Bill Spiva Memorial Fund, Marco Group, Mass Depot, McDonald's, Odell Trucking, Phil and Tana Wise, Preston Lacey, the Puckett family, Randy and Joanne Swift, SMB, Sonny and Shirley Cummins, U.S. Bank, and Weston Enterprises. Let's please recognize them. Thank you all so much. We'll get on with the ribbon cutting here in a minute, but I'd like to add just a few words. You should have received that sheet that I mentioned that talked about the vision and goals of the school district. Our vision is to be the school of choice for adults and children in Southwest Missouri, and also to provide a workforce to grow this region. Those were kind of our two overall visions. But with that came four goals: to provide academic pathways that allow our students to reach their individual goals, to provide and maintain first-class facilities, to recruit and develop the best team members we can find, and to provide a physically and emotionally safe learning and working environment. This project specifically addresses one of those. However, I believe this step, combined with the ballot initiative, will have an impact on all four of our goals by developing a sense of pride and community throughout our town. I believe it's already making a difference. The previous 2 years, our new teaching cohort that came in averaged 3 years of experience. This year's cohort that came in averaged 7 years of experience. People make a difference, and our ability to go out and recruit the best people to come to our district will make a difference in the lives of the kids to come. You've made a difference, and I appreciate your ongoing support of the Neosho School District. So now, if I may, we'll give some directions before we break up here. What we're going to do is we're going to cut the ribbon on the west side of the Wildcat. I would ask that at least one contributor from each of our donors be on the ribbon. I think it's going to be about 10 yards long. Our school board members, Jenny and Stuart, Mr. Fretwell, our student speakers and coaches, and I think Mrs. Spangler will give some direct wisdom on how to align for that. I would ask Renee Denton to cut the ribbon, and we'll take a picture with that group first, and then anybody that wants to join and gather in behind that group for another picture, we'll take that, and then we will cut the ribbon. Following the ribbon cutting, I would ask the donors to stay. Everybody else is dismissed. And what we will do there is we will start with the non-advertising donors. We'll be together on the Wildcat. We'll take a group picture while the scaffold is set up here. We'll take just a minute to move the scaffold over to the Freeman logo. We'll take the Freeman picture, then we'll move it to the track, and we'll start on the north end and move south, taking pictures with the different advertising logos. Hopefully that's somewhat clear. That concludes the official remarks. Again, thanks everybody for being here, and it's time to gather for cutting the ribbon. Thank you.
You gotta come too.